So those who take risk and invest their business money in business are always going to make more money than those who always protect what they have. You have to postpone the spending today for tomorrow. Success is not determined by the time you went to university or the time you went to school. Success is determined by every individual's dream and vision. So you are here, you are studying, doing or reading different disciplines, but that alone will not determine your success in life unless, one, you dream big, two, unless you have goals, three, unless you have objectives, four, unless you strategize, you have a strategy, five, unless you plan your life, and six, the activities, what you engage in. Why I'm giving you this, the dream, anybody can have a dream, but a dream without action is not a dream. Therefore, when you are here on campus, you start dreaming big and you have to take action. So your dreams should be backed by actions. How are you going to back your dreams by actions? First, you have to sacrifice today's lives, entertainment, and whatnot for tomorrow. What I mean by sacrifice is, some students here obviously come from affluent homes. Some students here also come from average homes. Some students also come from poor homes, but because of their brains, they manage to come here. What I want to assure you is that it is not where you come from that determines your success. It is your dream and how you foresee the future or life that determines your success. So if you want to be an entrepreneur today, you can start from tonight. Whatever money experience gives to you, you should begin to save. I always tell friends that any person who is working and not married should be able to save 70% of his income. Those who are married, the couples, should plan to save 50% of their income. Some may wonder why as high as 70%. I give you an example. Normally, students, when we come out of college and you get opportunity to work and you receive salaries, the first 3 months, what comes to your mind because of freedom? You want to move from home. Because now you want a girlfriend. Now you want a boyfriend. But it will cost you. It's very expensive. If you want to plan your life well, what you have to do is, wherever you are staying as a student, it's not all the time the case. Sometimes you might get a job and you have to move from. your parents. But if you happen to be lucky and get a job at where your house is, don't move from the house. Stay with your parents for 5 years minimum and save the money. Because your rent takes about 35% of your income. But if you are staying with parents, your parents in Africa and Ghana especially, parents do not charge rent. Elsewhere in America, when you are working, you pay rent to your parents. But here, no. So what you have to do is you save the 35% of your income, and that in 5 years becomes your capital. A friend who will move from his parents' home because he has a new girlfriend will spend the 35% of his income to rent a place. And that eats into your capital. So your purchasing power dwindles. If you receive 100 cedis and you are paying 35 cedis rent, you have 65 cedis left. Food, transportation, electricity cost. Electricity is not part of the rent charge. So by the time the month ends, your 100 cedis, you have maybe 5 cedis left. So 5 cedis for 5 years and 35 cedis. And 35 cedis for 5 years. Multiply it and see. The 5 cedis by 5 will give you 25. Okay, 5 times 5 will be 25. And 5 times 35 is 175. Who has saved money and has a purchasing power or a capital to say invest. So you can start from here, especially the ladies. Whatever your money your parents are giving you, you can start buying hair products, sell to the students who wants to live lavishly. Yes, sell to them. By the time you come out of college, you have experience in business. And those who are very smart who think that when they get jobs, that is where they become successful. It's not true. Success. The individuals, you determine your own success by the way you behave. So start from here, saving the little monies parents advance to you to come to school. I'm not saying you don't have to spend at all, but at least save some for rainy day. So all I'm trying to say is, first in life, you need savings. From savings, you need to invest. An investment, you need to work hard to protect your investment. I'll give you one example. When I first went to America, most of our seniors over there were working in a hotel. They were making $250 a week. The bakery that I went was making $120 a week. And my rent was $432. So $480 You take 432 out of it, you are left with nothing. So I had to look for a second job. That is a filling station. At the bakery, I worked for 40 hours. And the filling station, I worked for 88 hours a week. My main job was 40 hours. And why I was working 88 hours at a gas station was that I start from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Monday to Friday, 10 p.m., 6 p.m. Monday, the same thing to Friday. I get there 40 hours. Then I start Saturday. Friday night, our friends will go to parties, so I'll take their shift and work whilst they are partying. So Saturday, I do 24 hours. Sunday, I do 24 hours, 48 hours. No bath. We sell oil, the fuel, the engine oil. So when I remove the oil from it, the curtains, then I'll spread it and sleep on the floor. Whilst you are dozing deep, then you hear somebody, pump number 5. Then see my eyes are red. Have to wake up and go and punch number 5. Sometimes if 3 people are there, you might make a mistake because you are asleep. But I'll do the 24 hours on Saturday, 24 hours on Sunday. And the morning shift, the one coming to take over, I have to make an account of all the 6 shifts from Saturday to Sunday. So I get home around 11 a.m. And my Zaro bakery job starts at 12. But I knew what I wanted to be in life. So I never gave up. Friends that were partying, and I took their shift. Later on, I bought taxis for them to drive for me. When I saved money and got my first $3,000, I bought a taxi and started driving. And I was saving $100 a day. In those days, I was saving $100 a day. And I'll make sure every month, minimum, I save $3,000. I'll go to auction, buy a used car, Caprice, Impala, or whatever. Then, in America, if you are driving taxi and they put something called partition, bulletproof. If not, somebody will just kill you. So with the bulletproof, the insurance and everything, $3,000, I give it to a driver for $40 a day. And I don't want to hear anything unless you take the car to the mechanic. If you take the car to mechanic and you don't tell me, they are still going to give you my $40. So 7 days, $280. And I was also making $700 a week. I bought my first house April 1988 for my mother at the age of 28 when they were moving my mother from. My stepfather went on pension. I'm not saying anything to disgrace him, but he didn't have a place to live. So when he went on pension, they allowed him to stay in his flat for 6 months, and they moved his things out of the house where they were staying. That's now Flagstaff House, Jubilee House. It was WO's quarters. That's where my parents were staying. And they moved them. But I was able to buy a house, $24,000 in 1988. I gave it to Azuma Nelson and his manager to come and make the deposit for me. Meanwhile, the seniors that I met, if you ask them $10,000, that time, they couldn't have that in their account. I didn't even have a green card that time. And I worked so many hours because I had a vision, I had a dream, I had a foresight, and challenged myself, said, one day I'll be somebody. No, I'll tell you the truth. Young men here, you should always turn your misfortunes to be blessing. Why? Maybe I had brains, all right. I was not from a rich home. So I was disappointed 3 times by girls. And that actually propelled me to be successful. The reason being that I went to a boys' school at Southern College. It's all boys. On vacation, I don't know these days if you have it, they call vacation classes. So we used to go vacation classes and we meet ladies over there, miss, you know. And my contribution in class, some ladies fell in love with me. But on a more serious note, I was reluctant to take them home because the fear of dogging. When they go to my house and they see where I live, they don't come again. So I didn't want to take them home. One of them, I took her home, and my stepfather's furniture. I don't know who has read No Longer at Ease by Chinua Achebe. He described his first furniture as me and my wife. That time, my stepfather had a furniture, 3 sets, 3 in 1, 2 in 1, and 1 single. And he put a cotton, white sheet around it and put plastic on it so that the white would not be dirty. Now, one of the chairs, the leg was broken, and I forgot. Though when the lady came to my house and I asked her to sit, you know, the lady sat and she fell, and she was exposed. She was so offended, she felt I deliberately or intentionally set her up. She has never experienced poverty before. So she went. I walked there from Asalam down, from Kokomlemle to Asalam down, apologized. Still, she didn't get it. The other one too, my happiest moment was going to 6th form. So lower 6, I had a girlfriend at Accra High School. Now it was just a girlfriend who told me, you get what I mean? Because even 6th form, even when I was in 6th form, I had no place to sleep. I was sleeping on the couch on the last floor of the barracks. Yeah, I would take my mattress, put it down, and sleep. So if I say girlfriend, don't get me wrong. You know, you know, I'm sharing this. This, you will not get it from the books. That's why I'm sharing it with you. So, I had an economic book written by B.A. Menu, Tia Ahmedia. It's titled Economics Made Easy. I gave it to my girlfriend because she was in Form 5, I was in Lower 6. But when I went to the 6th form, the first term, I realized I still need that book. B.A. Menu was very good, very simple. He breaks economics down and you just get the understanding and pass. So I went there to a house at Asalam Down to take the book. Honestly, wherever, anytime I go there, where I sit with her, that day, when I entered the gate, I saw her with a handsome man sitting there. Then my heart beat. You know, I gathered the courage, went in there, greeted her and the guy, and the parents did like me a lot. So I had to pretend and engage in conversation with the sisters and the mother. I spoke to them for about an hour. The lady did not get up. I sent the sister to go and tell her that I need that book. She sent the sister to go and look into the trunk and get me that book. The sister went, she couldn't find it. So I said, okay, let me go. And then there will be a demand here. So, you know, I was miserable. And the younger sister felt so bad. So she escorted me out. And I told her sister, tell your sister, one day I'll be somebody. You know, the next day in the afternoon, she actually came to my house when I was packing my things to go back to school and said to me, what did you tell my sister? The guy that you saw, that time they had just started building Joe. And that was the first time I heard wall-to-wall carpet. When you go to the guy's house, their living room, wall-to-wall. Wall-to-wall means the carpet. Those days, the carpet, most of the homes, the carpet was just in the middle. But the rich guys had started, you know, carpeting the whole living room from one wall to the other. So he called it wall to wall. She said so many things to me. And I said to her, Janet, one day I'll be somebody. Yeah. So that motivated me to work hard. And one day, I was on a British Airways flight. That poor Lazarus that he disappointed me saw me in the first class, British Airways. Then, according to her, she waved. I didn't see. Because we always go first before business, then economy. So when I entered the first class, I saw a lot of friends that I knew at the business class. So I came back to talk to them. Then she waved at me. So I saw her and went to her place at the economy. Then she said, oh, I was trying to come to your place, but the flight attendants stopped me. And I asked her a question, Janet, why? Are you not a Christian? You don't you don't read Bible. The Lazarus and that rich man. The rich man was asking Lazarus just to put his finger in the water and give a drop. And what Lazarus said to him was that, where I am and where you are, far away. You know, I'm sharing this with you for you to know that my life was not rosy. It was not on a silver platter. I had to struggle to get to where I am today. And even where I am today, I want to go further than that. So, every individual, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should have a vision. With a vision, you should have courage. Courage in the sense that you should be able to take risk. The future belongs to risk takers, not security seekers. What I mean by risk takers is that, you know, professor here with PhD, everything, because he's working, he becomes security seeker because instead of setting up his own institution, whatever money he makes here, he will go and buy treasury bills for somebody to manage the treasury bills for him because he's afraid to lose the money. Such people, they make money, but they always become average people because they are scared to take risk. So those who take risk and invest their business, money in businesses are always going to make more money than those who always protect what they have. So you have to gather the courage and take risk. And if you take risk and invest your money, if you invest the money, make sure. I gave you an example of 40 hours and 88 hours, which was 128 hours a week. When others are working 40, 60 hours, put in 100 hours. When you sacrifice your time, the 40 hours difference brings more income, or you make more income from the 40 hours extra than the one who did only 60 hours. So hard work will take you very far. Those who are always content with the number of hours they have and they have the pleasure to enjoy, trust me, you always see them with the pleasure enjoying the little that they have. And it comes to a time they cannot even buy a nice car. But you that saved your money, took the risk and invested it, will reap profits, can use the profit to buy any nice car that you want. You have to postpone the spending today for tomorrow. What I mean by postpone spending today for tomorrow is especially women. Women tend to keep up with the Joneses. What I mean by keeping up with the Joneses is a lady will see her friend wearing Chanel. So, oh, I'm also going to get Fendi. I'm also going to get Louboutin. It becomes competition. The little money that you could have saved and invested, you spend it on bags, ladies' bags. A guy will see his friend wearing a nice shoe. Oh, I'm going to get, Kennedy Agyapong is wearing Zena, so I'm also going to get Zena shoe. Do you know how much money I have before I bought the Zena shoe? And now because you saw me wearing Zena, you spend your last money also to go and buy Zena. That's what I mean by keeping up with the Joneses. You have to save your money. When you are with friends in the same room and you save your money, they tend to call you, oh, you are chisel, you are this, you don't spend money. You know what you want in future. So whatever money you save becomes your capital, and your capital, you invest it. When you invest your capital, what you have to do is to make sure you always work hard to make more money so that you don't lose the money. If you want to be a businessman, I'm sorry, I have to tell you the truth. It's the gospel truth. When you establish your business, don't employ your brother. Don't employ your sister. Don't employ any relative. Because if they make a mistake and you sack them, your mother, your uncle, your grandfather, everybody will come and beg. And they know very well that he's taking your money. But the whole family will go against you. They consider you to be a very wicked person. Let them call you wicked. When you don't employ them and your business is going on, you go home and feed them. That's the only way you can protect your investment. When you have enough, you can help your brother by also establishing a business for him. Let him go his way and you wash your hands. But if you are going to rely on relatives to help you in your business, they will collapse your business. I've gone through it. I don't want you to go through that. That is why I'm telling you. Again, if you want to succeed in life, if you want to be different from any entrepreneur or a businessman, you have to be honest. Integrity is key to success. I'll give you another example. All these things, you don't get it in the book. I have a new company that I bought from an Indian. They deal in petrochemical for these plastic bottles and all those things. And they supply different companies here. When I took over the company, they checked my background and they wanted to meet me. After going through books, going around the company, we decided to go to lunch. And at lunch, he said, I hear you're a very honest man. I have a problem. I want you to help me. I said, okay, go ahead. She said she's about to lose her job in Belgium because she gave a credit to a Ghanaian company and the guy has duped her. He has not paid the money for about 2 years and they want to sack him from her job. What the guy refused or did not know was that if you go to Dubai, almost all the petrochemical companies, they know each other. So if you dupe company A tells company B, B tells C, that's it, you are cut off. They blacklist you and you can't deal with anybody. But if you are honest to company A will recommend to company B. Company B will recommend you to company C. Now, because of my honesty, I just came into the business. But they ship all these raw materials to me, and most of companies manufacturing plastics now buy the raw materials for me because of honesty. So honesty is key to success. Foresight. Foresight is still about a dream. You should know what you want. You should know what you want. You have a foresight that in the next 5-10 years, I'm going to rise to this level. How do I do it? All the things I've said to you come to play before the foresight will materialize. Hard work, honesty, savings, investment. Is one who has the vision, who have all these things, and you have the foresight to project that in the next 10 years, the market will be saturated, and therefore have to branch off into another business. This is how you have to read the market. So anybody who has a foresight can predict what will happen tomorrow, will always be a better businessman or entrepreneur than the one who does not think of tomorrow but wait for tomorrow. You have to stay focused. When you are doing business, there are economic turmoil that will happen. But you just don't give up. Once you've decided to attain this level, there will be challenges on your way. But you don't let the challenges impede your progress as you expect. Turmoil, economic turmoil. Let me give you one example. Just recently, you see America and the rest of the world are fighting on tariffs. And because of that, the economies of the developing countries are suffering because of dollar fluctuations and, those things. When you were planning, you did not anticipate that Trump would take over and now he also want to make more money for his people or his country because he feels the rest of the world are cheating them. It was not part of your thinking or whatever you wanted to do. So, if it does happen like that, because you are staying focused, that this is where I want to reach, and there are economic turmoils that can happen, you begin to guard against that before it even happens. So if it happens, you will cushion yourself with what you have saved. Let's say if you make a profit of 100 cedis, you plow back 70 into the business and save 30 for unknown tomorrow, which can be the economic turmoil that we're going through. When you do that, you are focusing. And when you stay focused, others who do not save some of their revenue or profit and take the risk to put all the 100% in, if there's a downturn in the economy, they suffer more. So sometimes you take risk, but some of the risk you have to calculate it. If you don't calculate it and you be greedy, or you are greedy to put everything in, you will lose all. So when you stay focused, you'll be able to cushion yourself when there's economic turmoil or downturn in the system. So anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur can do so. Don't think you're a first-class student. And because you're a first-class student, that alone determines your success in life. That is fallacy of argumentum ad hominem. If you are brilliant, it paves a way for you. You have the advantage, all right. But if you don't go further than that and you become complacent, I was talking to one of my daughters in Yale. She's very brilliant, but she's confused. When I advise her, she doesn't take it. She rather takes advice from her professors. But I have studied the market. I'm an employer, and I know professions that pay good money. But she thinks she's brilliant, and therefore it's automatic that she's going to be rich. I told her, you are joking. Because in Adisada College, my best position was 23 out of 144. But they know that that guy, when I speak English, they were laughing at me. Come here, Japan. Anu blofu cheme. Today, because of the zeal, because of the way I perceive life, there's nothing going on within our classmates that they will not inform me to contribute. And obviously, I'm the biggest contributor. So I share all these with you for you to know that the wealth at home today that you are enjoying, if you don't work at it, even if your father leaves you the whole wealth, you lose it. You lose it. But those of us from poor home who are aggressive to succeed, one day your aggressiveness will pay off. So, I normally share my personal experience. Some people don't want to do it, but I don't feel shy. I have to tell you, just to motivate you, so that when you are thinking, you say that if Kennedy Agyapong, that poor boy from Asen Dumpem, has been able to make it, I can also do it. Can also do it. And even do it better. Yes. And say to yourself, just as I said to the girls, one day, I'll be somebody. One day, I'll be somebody. And you'll be somebody. So whatever you are learning here is good. Why it's good is that even if you want to become a businessman or entrepreneur, your education will help decision making. Your education here will help in decision making. It will prepare you. You think through issues, you think through challenges, and come up with solutions. So keep it up. Education, education, education. And out of college, job, job, job. Then when we have the job, savings, savings, savings. Savings, investment, investment, investment. Investment, then hard work, hard work, hard work. Hard work, honesty, honesty, honesty. And trust me, one day you'll remember Honorable Kennedy Agyapong coming here to share his story with you. God bless all of you.